Welcome back to Tools and Track. We are finally going to weld up and solve the front arm problem. There is two options for this.
Solve.
I'll solve you.
Hopefully, I really hope it solves it.
Option one is I will do it as it's my car, or option two, we'll have them welded so that they won't break. Place bets which option we're going to go with.
Yeah. If they break, it's still your fault though. Taking absolutely no responsibility for these suspension arms staying in one piece.
You're concerned about the thickness of the tube. We get that. We get that. However, back of head. The book states this. This is what the book states.
Yeah.
This is as per
what
what
was
it
the
stated.
tyres and how grippy were the tyres when the book was made?
Well, look, this. Well, I was going to say this could be Rev 1. That was Rev 1. Yeah. This is Rev 2.
I like how we're going back the way we're going thinner.
Well, do you know what I was thinking, right? Is see if we weld these up and they're a bit bendy wendy, we could maybe double this somehow and guss it. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know.
Well, you're going to find out.
Yeah, let's just weld it and see what happens. Test weld. Exhaust probably? Is it exhaust?
Maybe.
Yeah. So that is the skinny tube that is, this one. So we are going to do a test weld first to see how it welds.
Yeah.
He looks thrilled. Do you know why he's not thrilled? All of these are a different colour.
Well, it's not.
We don't need to get into that in this episode. We'll cover that. Voila, courtesy of one Daniel, we have two fully TIG welded arms. Now, apologies, I actually think the camera is starting to steam up because it's so bloody cold in here. But now that we've got these arms made, and having checked, they are really quite strong. They don't have any great deal amount of flex in here that I need to worry about at all. So I'm happy to carry on with these and put them onto the car. However, there's a couple of points I need to do first. And the first thing is that I need to dress out the other sides of the welds. Now the reason for that is a bit of an odd one. So when I weld on this side, or rather when Daniel does, you'll find obviously you get the majority of the weld that you've added in here. But if you get good penetration, what will actually happen is the carbon on the other side will start to flare up and you'll actually get a bubbling and a proof that that weld has went all the way through the metal to the other side, especially on thin metal like this. Now, that's not actually something to worry about. It means that that weld has penetrated the full depth of the metal. The only problem is I'm going to be putting that bush into here. So if that moves, it's going to get ripped by that kind of rough slag. So all we're going to do is get the trusty Dremel out and just dress that back with a wee flat wheel attachment. Now, that should be easy enough to do. Once it's done, obviously we'll do the reattachment of bushes with all the appropriate grease and such, but it just makes sure that these are going to be right. Now, if you wonder why, we didn't really cover that the first time we did them, you'd be right. This is the original arm, and I didn't actually need to dress this. Now, what that says to me is I MIG welded that, and yeah, the welds look really good, and we've got nice, beefy, good, thick, looks like they've penetrated well, but we don't have any markings on the inside. So that says to me, even though these are skinnier, the welds are stronger, and that's a good thing. So clearly, TIG welding over MIG welding has its advantages, as does using a Daniel to do it. Right, let's get dressing and then we can get painting, and I need to talk about that as well.
high quality automotive paint.
Yeah, well, there's a reason for that. So that high quality automotive paint. What are you going that way for?
I don't know.
You're
not trying to see the arms.
No, I was going to take them off.
Right, take them off
so we
then.
can hold them and show people them. So, arms. You'll notice these are a different colour from the lower arms.
Why?
So, I'm glad you asked. So there's a colour scheme for the car, which I've been talking about for a while. So we've got the gold wheels, the orange brake lines, the black body. Granted, the matte black in the bottom's not quite falling with it.
And the grey wheel arch.
Right, that's enough. So apparently I've not painted the wheel arches right, so we'll come back to that. But these need to be this metallic anthracite kind of colour.
Right.
That's not finished painting, is it? That's good. Well, we'll touch that up.
Paint more.
Paint more. So the logic with this is, I used to have a bike, and that was the colour scheme for it. So the frame was this colour, the tank was black, the wheels were gold, and the brake lines and the clutch lines were bright orange.
Right.
This is a picture of it now. So my logic with the Locost was to make it the same colours as that bike.
The same.
I think Yamaha's came in that colour scheme as well.
Probably.
Anyway, so that was
That's
logic.
good, right?
So
That's
we're
great.
going with this.
Useful info.
The only problem Great.
Moving on.
Moving. Anyway, so yeah, okay, we need to touch that one up, but I'm going to also take the lower arms off once I've proven these work, and we'll paint them in that colour as well.
Yes.
But yeah, look, that actually looks quite good. I don't know what the colour code is for this, by the way, because for some reason now, Halfords just give you paint.
It's called metallic spray paint.
Metallic spray paint. Colour code this. There's a code in the lid, which I don't know where the lid's gone, and there is literally nothing else now. So if I need to get more of this paint, I need to find where that lid went.
Yeah.
Good job. Anyway.
So the key thing is that these are welded.
They're welded, and I think they'll be fine. So we were talking earlier on about how it's like, oh, I don't know if they're not moving. They're quite strong.
Yeah, I think they'll be okay.
Yeah.
I'm just a bit of a worrier when it comes to these things.
But it's the world of lightweight kit cars. 750 kilo. I don't think that's going to be the load in this that we fear.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to touch up and put the actual correct amount.
Actual paint on
The
them.
correct amount of paint that they need, and then we'll put it in the car.
Okay.
Great.
Sounds good. I really hope they fit.
Just you keep holding that.
I really hope they fit because
Oh, shut up.
I don't think I can take any more.
What, any more welding?
Any
all
more
we
of
ever
just
do.
of suspension arm drama.
Don't you start. Like, your Primera is far outweighing the drama scales than my arms are, so.
We're just gonna spray it all over the Primera door.
I'm going to paint in that direction.
Okay. Great.
Like I've been doing the whole time, and there's nothing on the Primera door.
Great.
The Primera door, by the
If
way.
one door is metallic, you know what happened.
Yeah, so like, do you know what? Let me just, hold on, just show the people. This is why, look at the state of this place.
There are some Primera parts here.
I've got half a car just in here.
No, there is a reason why that these are now these are stuck here.
You must spread
The
cars
problem
everywhere.
is we already painted all this,
Uh-huh.
and then we had to paint
All of it again.
all of the body shell again. So
Great.
it was like, right, this stuff's dry, but we can't
Leave it near the body.
we can't
'cause-
attach it.
Yeah.
So
Great.
what we'll do is we'll put it in this room so Tommy can cover it in metallic paint.
Yeah, I'm painting in another direction, it'll be fine. Or we could just move this and put it in the car.
We can't. It's
Why?
not. It's not finished
The car,
curing.
we painted it 3 days
It's
ago.
not finished curing.
Right, this isn't going well. Now, I've got a number of problems here, and I really wanted to finish this upper arm saga in one episode, but I'm not going to get to, because of a number of reasons. Right, first up, you can see I've got the arm and the hub, and we're ready to connect. But I can't. Reason one Remember how I said these are transit tie rod ends that we're using for top ball joints, right? I had to obviously order the new ones, so here's full length ones, not chopped down. Great. And it's for the Mark 1, Mark 2 Ford Transit, because that's the only one that comes with an outer thread. The rest of the Transit ones are inner threads. No. So this isn't the case, as I have now found out. Also, right, my own mess here is I bought 2 of them. And of course, because it's a tie rod, one's a left-hand thread, one's a right hand, these both need right hands. But at least I would have had one, but I don't, because this is an M20 and it's an M18 hole. Now, what does that mean? Well, all transits are created equal, but some are more equal than others. It appears there are 2 transit tie rods. Now, I've had a wee dig into this, and I think the issue I've got is that I've bought, now we're using the Quinton Hazel catalogue for this, a QR1408 RHT, right-hand thread. Now, the 1408 probably refers to some generic point of this. I don't know what the codes mean. This doesn't work. It's an M20 thread in this model. Now, I've had a look, well, basically I went and had a look for what transits come with M18s, and between the Mark 1 and the Mark 2 transit, I'm guessing, or at some point in its existence, they've dropped it down to an M18 thread, or stepped it up to an M20. I don't know what order it came in, but there are 2. So I have ordered this part, and I cannot tell you if this part is the correct part or not, because I've not tested it yet. But I've got a funny feeling, having not written down the original transit part number, that's what it should be. So this guy is not correct. So in the next episode, I'll confirm that and we'll go over the whole thing, because I don't want to be telling you to build this out of like a transit tie rod if there are 2 options and you end up getting snarled with it. So I've made the mistake here, so you don't have to. But don't worry, it's not the only mistake I've made, because I have had a bit of a bloody week with this. So the bottom arm we painted, I skipped a lot of steps here, but I've had to pretty much take this back to bare metal and paint it twice because I had a massive paint reaction. Then I reassembled the first one of these. You'll probably not know the difference, but this is the other side. And I've killed it. Let me show you. That is what's left of this. So all that happened was I took the adjuster part and put it in. That was it. It then wouldn't come back out. Now, when I say it wouldn't come back out, it got into as far as there, and I was like, that's a bit odd. So I gave it a wee tickle and a wee tweak, and then I was like, this is just not moving. It's completely jammed. And when you put it in this direction, and this is all painted, you realise I've got no way of placing this anywhere for me to trap that back out. In the end, I wish I just did that. So we tried numerous things and skipped to the end. It's picked up something in here. Now, if you look at this, you'll see that that's probably not the best turned finish. I don't know if during the welding phase or somewhere else that has caused a problem, but believe me, it has caused a problem. I have had to put so much heat into this that I fear I've actually distorted it or killed the metallurgy of this arm. So I'm gonna have a wee think, and we're actually gonna put it back in the jig and just check the alignment to see if that's ever going to be reusable. I might be just worrying about nothing, but with the amount of heat I've put in it, I don't know. I don't know if that's wise. The problem I have with this is I would then need to order another one of these, another one of these, more of these mandrel bent arms, remake this whole thing again, and start from scratch. But then again, I'm risking a suspension arm failing. Is it even worth the debate? I don't know. So, I'm gonna go home in a huff, have a bloody bath and have a wee think about life. But this might be to be continued. And the fun doesn't stop there. Because if I take the same part I just had and I try and fit it in there, oh look, the same problem again. And I don't even want to risk pushing it any further, but it nips, right? The problem here is I think when we've welded these, there's been distortion. And that's annoying, right? Obviously, I've cleaned it, I've buffed it, I've made sure all of the potential penetration through to the other side has been dressed back, the thing we talked about earlier here, and it is clean and smooth. However, that doesn't mean to say there hasn't been a slight deformation occur. Now, the problem I've got with that, or the problem I think we should have with that is, these are sold as little weld-on kits. Well, how does that work if any form of welding an arms onto this causes it to distort to the point we can't use it? Answers on a postcard. I'm welcome to hear how the manufacturer of that expects it to be well, I don't know, stapled together, because welding clearly causes massive issues with it. Not great, but obviously I'm gonna have to tickle this down just a wee bit further so we've got the clearance to go in here and it's not going to jam up and cause me the same bloody problem. So where does it leave me? Well, as usual, with another half-finished job. But we've learned lessons, we've stopped, we've made improvements. I mean, this whole arm thing is an improvement, so I'm going to stick with it because it has to make things better. And you might think, well, making things better in a car doesn't work. Well, the original might not even have been good enough, so better might make it good enough to be safe. And that for me is the most important thing. Now I know this is taking a long time and there should be a running car by now and there isn't, but there's no point in me half-arsing, cutting corners and just trying to push a deadline that doesn't need to exist just for the interest of getting content out. I'm sorry guys, this is my life that's going to be in the line driving this.
Stop whining.
I really want it to be right.
You lack discipline.
As such, episodes might be getting a wee bit slower while I tweak, think and just get things sorted. You'll also note there's many other projects on the go. It makes sense for me to finish those projects and focus on this properly than to just half-arse as we go. So apologies if anyone's expecting content. I'll try and keep it regular, but we'll get this finished when it's ready to be finished. Anyway, enough waffle from me. Thank you everyone who's watching. Thank you everyone who's persevering. I promise we will keep the focus on and get it done this year. If you just found this, like, bell, subscribe. Obviously all of the things at the below is what everyone on YouTube tells you to do. It does help. If you want to support a bit more than that, patreon.com/toolsandtrack. Awesome supporters live there, and to all of them again, thank you, because I know this is probably dragging out a bit, but we'll get there. Anyway, until next weekend guys, drive safe, and measure twice, cut once, and dress your welds back, and watch, and all the things.